Super Bowl weekend is here. Hello and welcome to Big Game Bound alongside the son of sweetness. We like to call him Jared Payton. JP, I'm Chris Hagan. We're outside SoFi Stadium. We're live. And man, we've been getting amped up all week, but now it's the weekend. It feels real.
Oh, man, it feels real and just excited about more people in town. You see the streets and the traffic a little bit more congested. That means that everybody is flooding LA for this big game on Sunday.
And guess what? Those Bengal fans, the Houday Nation, they're starting to show up in numbers as well.
Yeah, you better watch out, man. They might outnumber all those Ram fans here in LA, man.
You may have some casual LA fans, some Ram fans, they came back and, that's great. The Rams, these Bengal fans, they've been hungry for 30 plus years. More so than that even. They want that Super Bowl title and they're oh so close.
And guess what? Everything's closing down in Cincinnati on Monday because they're hoping to bring home Lombardi Trophy. And what do you think that would mean for the legacy of Joe Burrow so early on in his career, Chris? Man, it's just amazing. Both these quarterbacks, I'm looking forward to seeing how they kind of cement their legacy in the NFL.
Last year in Tampa when Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl, I said, never happen again, unbreakable record. If Burrow starts chucking them out there in his second year, look out. Maybe a Hall of Famer one day. That's way down the line. But last night we found out the 2022 Hall of Fame. He's already mad.
No, did you?
Class of 22. Tony Baselli, first Jacksonville Jaguar ever to go in. Butler, Richard Seymour, Bryant Young, Sam Mills, all deserving guys. One of those guys stick out to you, memories of watching football, somebody you like to watch play?
Tony Baselli, man. You get a chance to be able to see one of the great ones do what he did. And when you're talking about offensive linemen, that's what it's all about. Richard Seymour as well. I mean, you talk about a monster. He was one of those guys that you was always feared to see on the football field, even if you were watching. But the snubs last night, none of my Canes got in. What's going on here?
No wide receivers. What was the deal with that? A couple of wide receivers. I mean, your biggest snub yesterday, you were ready to go to town if somebody didn't put your boy Devin Hester in. What happened?
I'm going to tell you this. I knew at NFL Honors before everybody at home found out about Devin Hester, talking to one of the great receivers that used to play for the Dallas Cowboys. I won't mention his name, but you can go there and figure it out, number 88. You can figure it out. You can figure it out. He told me, and I was taken back a little bit because I thought that this would be a statement by the NFL to show what the game is all about. Let's not forget about the 3 phases in the game. I know offense and defense is so huge, Chris, but it comes down to special teams, and no one was better at what he did than Devin Hester, and I thought it would have been great to be able to see him kind of like kick down the door for other guys down the line.
What I'm interested to see, you talk about special teams. In 3 years, Adam Vinatieri will be eligible. Do you put him in? Yeah, he's just a kicker, one of the greatest of all time, highest scoring player in NFL history. You got to think he's got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but maybe these selectors, they have kind of a snub toward guys that are special teamers.
Well, they do, but they're going to have to change that process, Chris. It's not fair because when we talk about it, and offense and defense is great. Special teams has such a big part of the game, field position, and nobody changed that better than Devin Hester. Guys like Vinatieri, these guys, they have a big part of the game, and we can't forget about that when we talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Reggie Wayne still waiting as well. Another Kane, a wide receiver. You've seen that great Colts offense of the 2000. Peyton is in. Edgerrin is in. Yeah. Marvin Harrison is in. Reggie's still waiting.
Reggie's going to wait probably a little bit longer, but I definitely think he gets in. And you know what he means to the Colts franchise and what he means to Colts fans and to the NFL, man. When he was at the top of his game, who was better, and you gotta be able to recognize that. I have a big place in my heart knowing that those guys are going to get in eventually.
And get this, no one has played more games in a Colts uniform than Reggie Wayne.
Isn't that crazy?
No one. Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas, no. Let's go to a more positive note because I can tell I got you worked up here.
Yeah.
What about the Walter Payton Man of the Year award last night? Always special, and a very deserving gentleman takes the honor.
Yeah, man. It was just really, really cool to see Big Whit, man, Andrew Whitworth, just to be able to have that award and what it means to our family and all the great things that he's doing in the community as well, but also what he means to here in LA and what he's doing. He is starting to really kind of get his feet wet and understand that like he's going to leave his legacy when he's done playing the game of football. And so just to be able to see all of the things that he's doing in the community and how he kind of embodies that sweetness spirit, it really made my family very proud to really recognize him as a new family member of the Walter Payton Man of the Year family.
A big night for the family. I tell you what, that outfit you had on cost more than my whole wardrobe in my closet.
No,
Let's
man,
take a look
come
at some
on,
of the awards.
man.
What did you like about, let's start with the awards we saw last night, the big ones. What did you think?
Jamar Chase, Rookie of the Year, very deserving because we know what he did when you look at his numbers. While Joe Burrow, Comeback Player of the Year, I think we knew that was a lock after coming back from injury. So to be able to see him not touch the trophy, though, because he said, I got bigger plans for a bigger trophy on Sunday. Offensive Player of the Year, shout out to Cooper Kupp. One of the best speeches of the whole entire night. He's dialed in, and we already know about Big
But
Wit.
look at all those guys playing on Sunday. That
Yeah.
tells you that it's a team sport, but individuals make up good teams.
And Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt, and the fact that his brother was there to give him the award, you kind of knew where the award was going. It was staying with the family. I love that. Shout out to Micah Parsons, and I don't know if you guys saw him last night, but he had that big medallion on his chest. I saw him backstage, and I literally had to put glasses on because the ice was blinding my eyes. But he sat and talked with us, and Roger Goodell said, one of the best young players that we have in this game, but even a better guy off the field. So shout out to Mike Vrabel as well.
Now, Coach of the Year, this is my question for you. Mike Vrabel, incredible regular season, #1 seed in the AFC. Maybe you should wait to give the Coach of the Year until the season's over because Zach Taylor's sitting there going, hey, man, what about me?
I thought Zach Taylor, too. I was just thinking that. I was like, why can't they wait on this award? But Vrabel, you know, he was up there. He had no socks on, looking fresh with his loafers on. So you got to give it to the guy looking real fresh.
Now, I know as much as you're a Bears fan, you always admit, you've told me over the years how much you love the MVP.
I do. I do. As a football player, Aaron Rodgers is my favorite football player to watch. Everything about his game is spectacular. The only thing spectacular last night was his hair. But his outfit, definitely he needs to call my tailor because he was wearing a corduroy suit, and I know how much he makes. It could have been a little bit better, but how are you going to go against him? To me, I thought that when you look at it, Tom Brady could have been in that conversation as well.
Still some football to be played for Aaron Rodgers, or maybe not. A lot to be decided. Let's hear from the MVP.
To be sitting here as a 4-time MVP is it's crazy, and I'm so thankful. But, you know, like I said in the last press conference, you know, I'll make a decision in due time and not in a ton of time, you know, before give the team plenty of time to, you know, do what they got to do. And, you know, I think that time is coming. What day is today here? It's like the 10th or something. Yeah. So, I mean, there'll be a decision in the near future. And, yeah, I'm not going to keep a lot of people waiting.
What is it about Green Bay Hall of Fame quarterbacks? Brett Favre every year, is he coming back? Is he done? Is he coming? And now here they are again. They were trying to run Favre out of town to get Aaron Rodgers in the seat, and now you got Aaron Rodgers. Should I stay or should I go?
Listen, for an organization that has been so lucky to have Hall of Fame quarterbacks, they seem not to treat them the right way. Like, what are you doing? Then you look at us, their rival in the NFC North, the Bears. We're just trying to find a quarterback.
Just give us one good one.
Justin Fields is that guy. We can live like they are living. But, yeah, to see last night his speech, it sounded like he was just saying his goodbye to Green Bay and then flipped it back a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Aaron Rodgers' future coming up next year.
You know, we're in the media, but I think somebody's going to get the scoop on what Aaron Rodgers is going to do.
You.
No, not me, but it's a guy who played for the Indianapolis Colts, an all-pro punter who retires before the age of 30. He's gone from all-pro to media mogul. We're talking, of course, about Pat McAfee. He's running the show down at Radio Row. Let's take a look. 5 years ago, he shocked the world and said, I'm quitting football. I'm a Pro Bowler. I'm a beloved Indianapolis Colt. People thought you were crazy. I didn't, and look at you now. This is unbelievable.
And Chris, I think you probably thought I was crazy. My parents thought I was a little crazy, but my boys all understood what was going on, and I was very fortunate to play for the Indianapolis Colts. Very, very lucky to be in the NFL. I'm still a massive NFL fan and an Indianapolis Colt fan. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made this offseason. I'm excited to see what happens there, but yeah, we've we've had a hell of a time here trying to experience this entire media world, and now obviously with our partnership with FanDuel and FanDuel getting, prime real estate at this place. We are in an interesting spot. We're yelling over every other show. We are in the entrance and the exit, so everybody here is going to hate us by the end of it, but we're very, very lucky, very fortunate, having a good time with it, Chris.
I listened to you last week, a couple weeks ago, and you're talking to Al Michaels, and it was just a surreal moment. I'm like, Pat is talking to Al Michaels, their colleagues, their peers. Do you have moments like that? We were here yesterday, people walking by, hey, there's Pat McAfee. It's not an overnight thing. This has been building, but it really feels like you've made it in a big way.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, and Al Michaels just texts us, so that is a insane thing. I got a chance to be teammates with Peyton Manning, and that was an eye opener. And then once you hang around Peyton, you realize oh, he's a human too. So I kind of base everybody that I meet off of Peyton Manning. And I'm like, are you more popular than Peyton? No. Or if you big dog me, cool, I'll just kind of move on. But everybody's been so nice, and I've been very lucky. But I have a great team with me, obviously. The boys here are coming and going while we're trying to set up. We try to work hard, do things the right way. We try to make people laugh as opposed to tear people down. And hopefully we'll just continue to grow and have a good time. But, yeah, it's been wild, the amount of people that I've got a chance to chat with that I've seen on the Internet, people that I've seen on TV. Getting to meet them now and them knowing that we exist is really cool. It's been a very cool moment, for sure.
Every time I've talked to you and do interviews, I never have notes, I never have questions, I just have conversations. You didn't get this from me, but it seems like you do that a lot too. You're like, hey, let's have a conversation and let's see where it goes.
Yeah, I like listening. I enjoy, the set questions thing. And I remember at the Indy 500, I think, I forget what you call it. You have your sign where you have a list of hot questions or something like that. I forget what it is, and that's always an incredible bit. I love that. For me, I just like talking to people. I've always had great conversations with folks. I feel like I love conversations more than a lot of other people. I'm a genuinely curious person, and if I'm talking to somebody and they answer a question, if I was to go to another question without exploring what they just said, who knows where we'd end up. It's just kind of my style. I think a lot of people have dealt a lot of different ways, but we've been very fortunate that when people come on the show, they open up, and I'm very, very thankful for that.
Do you feel like in a way you bet on yourself and really FanDuel is paying you off? This was a huge bet, a huge career risk, and this is all you could have hoped for, I imagine.
Yeah, so FanDuel is only one of our partners. We got 6 of them, plus a merch store and a...
Humble brag over here from Pat.
Yeah, let's just make sure we respect the business. But very, very lucky about FanDuel being such a good partner. And they bought none of my company, so we're still allowed to do whatever we want to do. They're just our exclusive sports book, and they've been an incredible partner. They understand that we're trying to take every dollar from them still. We are still trying to win every single bet, and the great people of Indiana and all the other states where it's legal have helped us do that. We took $16 million from them last weekend in some same-game parlays that we promoted, so that was a big up. But, yeah, I think I've always had a feeling, a gut feeling, a gut trust that I've always done. I was a soccer player before I was a kicker. I felt like kicking was probably going to be the right move. Go and kick, it works out. Then I was a punter, it works out. And I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. I've been a lot of my times, but it feels like my gut instinct has kind of helped me out along the way, and I could have never imagined it go like this, obviously.
Last thing for you, about 5 years ago, we're in your shop down in Indy, just getting going. I said, are you happy? And you said yes. Pat, are you happy right now?
A lot of fulfillment out of all this. I'm taking meetings out here with the biggest networks, some of the most successful people on earth I'm sitting down and meeting with, and they're coming to our house we have rented out here. It's been a wild ride here for 5 years. I'm continuing to learn, and as soon as you see me not having fun is probably when this will end. I think that is probably something that people can take to the bank on how I will operate probably forever. As soon as I'm not loving what I'm doing, I'm probably going to move on, and I'm very, very lucky to be in a position to do that.
Just don't forget the short, pale ginger people.
Well, short, pale ginger people, they're people too. And not just are they people, they're incredibly talented, clever, and they were always nice to me even when I was a young buck and nobody knew who the hell I was, and I was potentially ending up on the wrong end of some mugshot stories. So I appreciate you, Hagen. It's great to see you. You're working your ass off down here too.
Oh, my goodness. Pat McAfee, never a dull moment.
You are so lucky to be able to have all these really cool Colts players that you've had relationships with. It's amazing, but to see you guys interact just makes me smile.
It's great that sometimes you go in locker rooms, you're like, who are we going to get a soundbite from? This is going to be tough. Over the years, the Colts, you think about all these guys that have gone into the media. You had Peyton, you had Jeff Saturday. You know how Edge is, how Edge was a soundbite machine, Reggie, and Pat McAfee, he tops them all. And don't count him out. I mean, this guy might be president one day. He has just done whatever he wanted to. Every move he makes, as he said, somehow it turns out to be the right one.
I mean, just the fact that when you were just talking about one of his sponsors, he had to make sure it's being in Indy, he understands what it's like to be a car driver, because those NASCAR drivers always, they got to thank all my sponsors. So really cool, but he really has bet on himself, and he's taking it over, man. He is one of those guys that I look at going, holy cow, look how they've really taken this thing and elevated to a whole nother level.
Yeah, happy for his success for sure. And I've been happy with your success over the season with your Peyton's picks. During you had an unbeaten record. What was it? The divisional round. You went 4-0 on the games, and we'll get your pick tomorrow on Saturday's show for the actual game. But today we're going to break down the defenses. Let's take a look inside the numbers. Let's start with the Bengals defense and what they've been up to.
In the regular season, what you talking about? 13 interceptions, 42 sacks, 22.1 points per game allowed. And so this team in the playoffs, though, 6 interceptions, 8 sacks, and 19.7 points per game allowed. So we're seeing this defense in the postseason get a little bit more stingier, and they've had to change things up. And I think their most impressive performance was against Kansas City, and how they came out in that second half and kind of changed the game a little bit and really kind of frustrated Patrick Mahomes, which we saw in the first half. He was on fire, and things changed in that second half. That's why they're here playing for a Super Bowl championship.
Usually we see the numbers for a unit go down a little bit in the playoffs because every team you're playing is obviously a playoff team, but to see those numbers even a little bit better, that is super impressive. But that Rams defense,
come on, man.
What do you think about that?
Come on, man. We're talking about Aaron Donald and company. I mean, we're talking about a guy that really can just take over a game. 12.5 sacks, 25 quarterback hits, 19 tackle for losses, double team 66% of the time, and still is getting those numbers. That means it's leaving things open for guys like Von Miller, who has played in this game, has a Super Bowl championship, Leonard Floyd on the other side. It helps out everybody. When you can get after the quarterback, it changes what it does for the guys on the outside like Jalen Ramsey and the guys on the back end of that defense. It helps them, especially in one-on-one coverage. So Aaron Donald is that guy who is a monster. And don't forget about he beats 26% of the time those double teams. Come on.
You know he's good when we show a graphic for the whole Bengals team.
Yeah.
And for the Rams, we show one guy. Let's hear from Aaron Donald right now.
Have an opportunity to be in another Super Bowl, but this time at home in our own home stadium, practicing in our own facilities, and be able to stay at our own homes and our own beds, be with our own families. It's been great, man. It's definitely keep the stress level down, and you just feel comfortable, man. You just locked in a different way. It's just like I said, it's just like getting ready for any other week, just like any other Sunday, So it just happened to be a Super Bowl and the biggest game of our lives, but it's still football at the end of the day. So it's been great.
His numbers speak for themselves, JP, but I take it you're going to go Rams over Bengals. Peyton's pick, you'll take that unit.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take the Rams unit. I just it's hard not to with Aaron Donald. And talking with Jerome Bettis the other night, he was just talking about how he's not a big guy. He's, when you look at him, he is solid, but not big. And so the way that he moves on the line and how you have to know where he's at and game plan for him, that really helps, like I said, all the other guys be able to get off on the outside. And it's really, really tough when you have a guy like that up the middle that's taking a double team but beating it 26% of the time.
Rams defense. Let's talk about the Rams offense, in particular a former Ram QB.
Yeah, I had a chance to run up to one of the best Rams quarterbacks in the history, and his name is Jim. Don't call him Chris Everett.
Oh.
And we got a chance to be able to talk with him about the big game on Sunday. I'm glad I got you because we got to talk about these quarterbacks. And let's talk about the Rams first.
All right.
Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and that relationship. How dangerous are they, and what makes them so special as a tandem?
Well, I mean, Cooper Kupp is, his talents are so good. I remember this preseason, he went and watched the Raiders. They had a little preseason game. They watched Renfro doing some of the double moves. And so if you look at him, he's a student of the game. And not only is he good at catching the ball, he's fabulous at running routes, but he actually started doing this triple move that Renfro started doing. So he'd come up, give a wiggle, give a shake, and then another move on top of that, and he was breaking DB's legs. So he's the ultimate professional. What I mean by that is a guy that he could probably coach the receiving room. You know what I'm saying? So he's that smart. When you got players on the field that have that ability, that coaching ability, whole new level. And you asked me about Matthew Stafford. Man, he's like every quarterback's hero. I mean, from our there's a lot of us quarterbacks that played for teams that, you know, they say, yeah, we're going to Super Bowl. You're like, yeah, all right. You know, with what? You know, and you hope people grow into their positions that. But, you know, Matthew was with the Lions. They didn't have the talent they had around him, but now, you know, he gets handpicked by Sean McVay. Come here, lead my team. And by the way, I got these good receivers. By the way, we're going to pick some OBJ up just in the middle of the season. Just who lets OBJ go in the middle of the season? Who does that?
Nobody.
All right. So, and then, you know, a general manager's not afraid to go out and get Von Miller because we know we're going to need him down the stretch. You know, I mean, so here's a quarterback that was good, probably great, but we never knew because his records were always, you know, 50-50, and I've been on some teams like that. But when you start getting this all-star team around you and you got Aaron Donald eating quarterbacks for breakfast on the other side, and all of a sudden your gets really good.
So how do you kind of add in that OBJ? He's added another wrinkle to what they do offensively.
Well, you got to realize it was an opportune time, too, because we have a guy named Robert Woods, who's so good. Now, again, when you look at Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, you're looking at guys that can run jet sweeps. You're looking at guys that can shake and bake. You're looking at guys that block. Yeah, I said that from a wide receiver position. Sean McVay has a receivers blocking, and there's some guys in this league that play wide receiver that won't block. Right, so that's a whole different deal, and Van Jefferson's doing the same thing. Then all of a sudden you bring OBJ in because you know they're going to rotate the other way, so you're going to get single coverage over there. You want to double that, then, you know, then Cooper's open. So, I mean, it just puts the defense in a pickle. And having a guy like that who maybe you thought came in with luggage, but from whatever I've heard and seen and been around, this guy's an ultimate team player. Now, again, I don't know what went on in Cleveland, nor do I really care, but I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, I think about how on the other side of the ball, you got, you know, Joe Burrow and how you look at Joe Burrow and how he's kind of blossomed in front of our eyes this season after the knee injury last year. Now he's coming out full force. How impressed are you with him in year 2 as a quarterback underneath center?
Well, this is the deal. Like, I'm big into fantasy football too, right? So I'm like, if I got a quarterback gets hurt the year before, the next year I ain't drafting him. But that would have been a mistake with Joe Burrow. Because what he did, his mental toughness, and I think that's what you're seeing. He won at high school level. He won in the college level. He's winning on the pro level. Now, it's not all on Joe. You know, he's got Mixon over there. He's got Jamar, who's having maybe one of the best rookie receiving seasons ever. Higgins on the other side. I mean, he got some weapons. You know, we talked about both quarterbacks making sure that they have weapons. They're both loaded. Now, the thing is on paper, I never thought Cincinnati would be here. But Cincinnati has the grit, the gumption. If they can stick around, they're going to beat you. So that's what the Rams got to do. They can't give it away. They can't give the game away because if Cincinnati sticks around, they'll stab you.
Well, you look at the quarterbacks, you have to look at also the coaching matchup as well. I feel like we don't talk about the coaching matchup enough. And Sean McVay going up against Zach Taylor, they have history together. Are you excited to see them kind of duel this thing out on Sunday?
Yeah, you know, I was excited before the season. They were going through this list. These coaches have the most pressure on them, you know, or they're going to be gone, right? And I see Zach's name on that list. So he barely get his feet wet, right? And his quarterback got hurt last year. I'm like, they didn't even give him a chance, and they're already sitting on the hot seat. I love it for Zach. You know, he's done a lot of good things for the Rams. And then, you know, McVay, so they're running the system. So what you're going to see is two really smart head coaches going against each other, strategize. I love it. You know, when the Rams were in the Super Bowl, again, it was McVay with Belichick. You know, again, that chess match, and I'm old enough now to know the difference from just the player standpoint, that there's a bigger chess match going on between, it's going to be interesting to see how much they want to pressure Stafford, how much Aaron Donald wants to pressure Joe Burrow, because I think Joe's going to get a lot of pressure with that offensive line.
I got to talk about you now, because you go back and look at your stats. What you did in your time is amazing. By the time you ended, over 35,000 yards, I don't know how many touchdowns, countless. And you're looked at as being one of the most consistent quarterbacks of your era. How does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, and I'm still the Los Angeles Rams all-time leading passer after all these years. I look at him and go like, can you guys hold a job for a little longer or something? Anyways, I don't know, I feel good. I mean, you grow up, you want to play pro sports. I got an opportunity early in my career to play with a lot of weapons. Later in my career, there wasn't as much so. Yeah, would I have liked to have 8 rings like Tom Brady? Yeah, that doesn't go. But you know what? I look back at my career. I did the best I possibly could. I worked at my profession the hardest I possibly could and got the most out of this body. Now you got to realize, back in the day, they used to actually hit us. So it was a little bit of survival of the fittest, you know. And I'm kind of a big guy, and I look at guys like Patrick Mahomes and go, dude, you play in friggin' 1986. And you're gonna be laid out in the stretcher, because that's what that's what those guys did. So, you know, I got some fake body parts to prove it. We're all doing good.
When it comes down to this matchup on Sunday, I got to ask you, and I know who you're probably going to go with. Who wins the game on Sunday?
I am going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. They look, on paper, now, if they, like I said earlier, if they decide they want to play giveaway ball and let the Cincinnati Bengals hang around, or if Cincinnati does something crazy, I mean, that's why they play the game. So, but I think if the Rams do their thing and Aaron Donald eats and Von Miller does his thing and Jalen can shut down Jamar, it's just Higgins on the other side that scares me.
Imagine that. He picked the Rams, JP.
I knew he was going to. It's all good, though.
Eric Dickerson picked the Rams. Shocking development.
Yeah, this is how it goes, man. These guys are excited to have their former teams back in the Super Bowl. They're going to pick their teams.
And, you know, when your team is your team, you retire, maybe uniforms change, but your relationships remain with special players, and that team that was your main team, you're going to go with them. You're going to go with them forever.
It's just so interesting to talk to a former quarterback, break down the quarterbacks that are going to be in this game and what he sees in both guys. And I think if you really want to get a good sign and a good kind of figure on what these guys can do, it's listening to guys like Jim Everett.
We got some prop bets, some propositional type bets for you.
Go.
And since we talked defense today, it's defense. Now, JP says this is the way to pay off your home. You take this bet here. Will Aaron Donald and Von Miller each have a sack?
Yes.
And you're plus 140. I can't believe you got a chance to make money. That looks like a shoe-in, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, we know what they can do, and I feel like Aaron Donald's going to be juiced up. Von Miller coming off the edge, that's going to happen.
You could win that bet in the first quarter and just be like, okay, we're good. Let's cash that ticket. Now, here's the one I have, and Jim Everett kind of made a good point about this. The total turnovers combined for both teams, just 2.5. I think you got to go over. What say you, Jared Payton?
I would take the over, too. I think it's one of those games. It's not just interceptions. It could be forced fumbles, all that stuff. So anything is possible. And if you look at kind of the track record of both these teams, yeah, you never know. Turnovers can be an issue. So let's see what happens.
And I think in the fourth quarter, if you have a game, a team's down 2 scores,
yeah,
they have to go for it on 4th down. You're not going to take a sack. You'll just force one. You'll chuck it. You know, you go all out in this game. You could maybe be a clean game through 3 quarters.
True.
Things can get crazy in that fourth quarter. And we're going to get crazy this weekend, JP, because the weekend is officially here. It's our final weekday edition of Big Game Bound. We're almost there. Can you believe it?
It has been a blast sitting alongside you, Chris Hagan, man, talking football, talking about the big game, and doing Big Game Bound all season long.
And get this, we're not done. We'll have an abbreviated show tomorrow, and then on Sunday, a 2-hour extravaganza. We'll have all of our Next Star Nation correspondents joining us. We'll hear about what they've been doing all week, see some of their stories, and of course, we'll be here for you as well. For now, though, he's Jared Payton. I'm Chris Hagan. Thanks for watching us on Big Game Bound.